Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted, the go-to podcast for those flipping the script and taking the unexpected path. I'm your host, Jessica Burgio, holistic life and business coach, author, speaker, and self-proclaimed high-energy hype girl. Each week, I'm bringing you inside. No gatekeeping here. I'll touch on proven holistic business strategies, powerful mindset shifts that have led my clients through massive transformations, and no BS conversation with industry leaders designed to help you get out of your own way to actively pursue a life of purpose. If you're ready to ditch the limitations at the door, hit follow and get ready to be activated to step boldly towards your big goals. Now let's dive in. Welcome back to the final episode of this 4-part series. We are talking all about confidence and your action plan for 2026. So today's episode is action, consistency, micro wins, and visibility. Because I don't think confidence is a personality trait. It's a result, and the result comes from taking action. I'm going to say that again. Confidence is not a personality trait. It's a result. And the result comes from action. I think you guys know that. I know that. I think I've had to remind myself of that. We can build so many levels of confidence, especially in different arenas in life, right? So what I want you to take away from today is that if you've done the work over the last 3 episodes, this has literally been like a masterclass mini series. I want you to understand that clarity and visibility is a strategy, but you knowing who you are moving into 2026, your boundaries, your non-negotiables, your vision, it's going to unlock so much freedom in your life. And if you're listening to this, obviously you've done the hardest parts already. You've told the truth. You've told the truth. And if you've listened to episode 1, that's where it all started. So if you haven't listened to episodes 1, 2, and 3 yet, please pause this, go back and listen to those first 3 episodes. They're very short, very sweet. They've got some journal prompts that go with them. And it's really going to help you unlock everything you need to move into 2026 with so much clarity and so much confidence. I truly believe you've hopefully figured out where you need to clear out some of the noise. You've mapped out a vision, even if it's a little blurry still, you've outlined the vision, if nothing else. Now, in this final episode, as the year comes to an end, it's time to activate. Because clarity means nothing without movement. Okay, I'm clear. I want to get fit, so I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to buy that gym membership. Does that automatically give you muscles and make you get fit? No. You got to move. You got to get yourself to the gym. You got to do the workout, and then you got to do it again and again and again and again and again. Because clarity truly means nothing without movement. And I use gym analogies all the time because they're the easiest ones for us to literally understand. If you say you want to start a podcast or you want to have the biggest podcast in the world and you're not consistently doing the moves to create the action, you're going to lose so much self-trust and your confidence levels are going to plummet and you're going to feel like a failure. And confidence is simply a byproduct of taking action time and time again. I don't even know if this is episode 360 at this point or something close to that. I didn't wake up here. I did not wake up at episode 360. I had to put the reps in. I had to have episode 1 through 26, which were terrible, by the way. I filmed them live in studio in my closed down salon during COVID with a guy who didn't know anything about audio. Yeah, he knew video, but he didn't know audio. They sound like trash. I sound like I don't know what I'm doing. But I would have never gotten here if I hadn't started and if I hadn't kept going. And I'm never going to get to where some of my high-level friends are who have 600-700 episodes. One of my really good friends just hit like 1,100 episodes for her podcast. 65 million downloads. She's making multiple 6 figures off her podcast, brand deals, opportunities. She's launched her own product line because of the brand visibility, recognition, and reputation she's created from doing one thing consistently, taking that action, having clarity. Oh, and don't doubt she's not wanted to quit a bazillion times. And like anything, you're going to hit hard seasons. But this is the part that most people and women especially want to skip. We want to skip the hard part. We're not afraid of hard work. Don't misunderstand what I said. Don't be canceling me now. We work harder than most people, most men. But a lot of times we're working hard on the things that don't move the needle and aren't that important. Yes, your family's important, but do they need you to do every freaking thing that you're doing right now? Probably not. Right? Confidence is simply the byproduct of action taken over time. I want to say that again because this is the part, like I said, you guys will skip. You want the vision without putting in the reps. That repetition builds. You want that identity, but you don't want to have to like stick to these habits that are going to create the identity so that you believe that you truly are that person, or that the world can now see you as that person because they depend on you. When people see you do things consistently, it builds trust. And without trust, you don't have a personal brand. And without a personal brand these days, who cares what your business is? And a lot of you want to be visible. I know that to be true, but you don't want to be vulnerable. Again, there's layers to vulnerability. It's speaking your truth is what vulnerability is. Owning who you are, what you're all about, and what you're here to create, the impact you have to make on other people, sharing your experiences, all that. And so many of you want momentum. Let's freaking go energy, right? You come home from events, retreats, you get off calls, and you don't take any action. You want momentum, but you don't want to be consistent. And this is your friendly reminder that like the second I'm inconsistent, the momentum comes to a screeching halt. And that can look like, again, you know me, and I love my gym analogies, right? I slack off at the gym for a couple days. My pants get a little tight. I slack off with eating good. I start to feel not good about myself, right? The momentum dies. So in order to keep that momentum going, the consistency has to be a non-negotiable. So whatever level of consistency you are willing to play at is the speed in which you will go. So today I want to give you a simple, very doable, powerful action plan for 2026. Okay, are you with me? Step 1, I just want you to choose, where are you going to be visible? Are you going to start the podcast? Are you going all in on the podcast you already have? Are you going to get as known as a guest who comes on people's podcasts? Is that the platform? Is podcasting the platform? Is Instagram going to be I'm all in on Instagram. I'm going to stop being inconsistent and posting whenever I feel like it, taking 4 or 5 months breaks. I'm going to dive all the way in. I'm going to hire a social media team because I really don't want to be on Instagram, but I'm willing to create some content. I just don't want to be responsible for it. Maybe email is where you're going to thrive. Maybe building your email list, right? There's so many opportunities to nurture people through email. Is it events? I know a lot of you have been liking getting into in-person events. They are super fun. Sometimes they're costly. You got to take some time. And then when you get in the room, you got to intentionally network, and then you got to follow up and you got to connect. But some of you thrive in person. So events might be your jam. Now, all of those can stack together, but I want you to pick one as your like primary platform, and then kind of one as your secondary. So I have events, and then I move everybody into like my email list. I show up on Instagram, and then I move everybody over to my podcast, right? Because Instagram, you don't own. Events, you don't actually own if it's not yours, but you own your podcast content and you own your email list. So pick one primary and one secondary. Step 2, choose a visibility pathway. Are you going to start your own show? Yes or no? I've got the podcast playbook for you. If you want that, just DM me. I'll send you the 2025 podcast playbook that I created, and it will help you discern on if a podcast is right for you. Or like I said earlier, are you going to start guesting on other people's shows? Let's get your keynote dialed in. What do you want to be known for on these podcasts? Don't be that person where people are always like, so what do you want to talk about today? What is your brand reputation? What is it that you sell? Who are you? How can you help people? When you show up as a guest, you come prepared to serve their audience, know who you're talking to, and then deliver, and then try to close that deal. You don't just speak on there to speak on there. Like, send people to your email list, send people to your podcast, send people to your events. Talk about how awesome you are. It's an unapologetic avenue to plug who you are and what you do. That host is already edifying and credifying you on the show by having you on. So take full advantage of that. Maybe it's time to speak on stages. The times that I've gotten invited to speak on stages is when I've been at someone else's event sitting in the back room next to another host where they're like, I want you at my event, right? They get to know me. Or I've been at an event where someone else who hosts events seen me speak, and then they asked me to come speak at their event. But it's by putting myself out there, by putting myself on stages, asking to get on people's stages, even if I have to drive or fly somewhere just to be on a 20-minute panel, right? That's like putting your reps in, asking for the invitation. As hard as it is for some of us projectors, sometimes you got to ask for those opportunities. Maybe you need to be writing more. Maybe a Substack is where you could be more visible. Maybe you need to build a community of some sort, or maybe it's getting into a community. Maybe you want to host some in-person events. These are all really cool ways to become more visible. My partner Jamie and I hosted a series called the Entrepreneur Success Series here in San Diego at Creative House that I own. December through, we did it for 6 months. And then we ended up doing a 7th one. And it was an amazing way to connect with local community here in San Diego, really bring on guest speakers to help grow their brand and business. It helped us connect on such deeper levels. And I have so many connections and friends. My podcast grew from it. My business grew from it. We're known now as the Little Networkers. People know about my space. Like, it was an amazing way to really connect with my community and grow. But then I also want you to pick a lane that like aligns with your strengths. If you're not really someone who likes to go to live events, a podcast is awesome because you can just sit by yourself and podcast like I'm doing right now. Or you can have guests on your show where it's very low lift in the sense of like having to get all dolled up. I've been sitting in a beanie in my gym clothes recording these last few episodes, and it's the best. Time and a place for getting all glammed up being on stages for sure, but also hosting a community. You can do that virtually. All right, the next step, choose your non-negotiables. Okay, I have been speaking about non-negotiables since the first day I came out the gate with my coaching programs. Your non-negotiables are not resolutions. They are your identity anchors. I'm going to repeat that. Your non-negotiables are not resolutions. They are your identity anchors. These are the micro actions that will generate the momentum. If you are ever questioning where you're at, ask yourself, what would the future me do every week without fail? Sit down and record podcast episodes, reach out to 5 or 6 people to get on their podcasts, engage with people on social media, show up to calls if you're part of a community, go to the gym every day or the 5 days a week that you decide, eat healthy, cut out alcohol, be a better friend. What would the future me do every week without fail? Those are your non-negotiables. Step 4, choose your support system. This is huge. We are not meant to do business or life alone. It is said to be true. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So is it a mentor? Is it a mastermind? Is it a friend? A community? You cannot do big things alone. It's just not even fun to do things alone anyways. Even if you're a manifesting generator, y'all like friends too, okay? Being supported equals being resourced. When we have a support team, we feel less likely to quit. We don't want to quit on our friends believing in us. We don't want to quit on our community. We don't want to let other people down, so sometimes it keeps us in the game. When we're supported, we feel like we can do anything. That's why choosing your partner is so important. Choosing your friends, the people you hang out with. And when you are resourced with that support, you're fucking unstoppable. The things I've seen happen for people who are fully supported is next fucking level. People will be saying your names in rooms you never even walked in. They'll be talking about you, referring you. All of that. We're literally so close to completely changing our lives in moving into 2026. If you went through every single one of these podcast episodes, 1 through, this is now 4, you have time to completely change how you've been showing up and what it is you want to create. Your only job is to begin again and again. Every day is a new opportunity to show up and be that version of you that you know you're here to be. Even on the days you don't want to, you don't feel ready, you don't feel confident. Allow yourself to step into a new identity. Allow yourself to become visible. Claim your voice and really start honoring your desires. They're there for a reason. This is your year to be seen. I've got some journal prompts. It would only be Burgio style if we had them. So write these ones down when you get some time. What are my 3 non-negotiables for January? They could be things you're already doing, but I'd challenge you to add 3 new non-negotiables for January. Second one is, what visibility action am I taking first? What visibility action am I taking first? The third one, What will keep me consistent when motivation drops? Because it's going to drop. And if you're a woman, it goes up and down all month long. What's going to keep you in the game? Next one. Who do I need support from in 2026? I love helping people figure out, do you need a mentor, a coach, a program, a mastermind? Like, there are so many amazing containers out there, but you have to know who you are, what your vision is, and where you want to go in 2026 before you can get a recommendation. That's like saying, where should I go eat? You're like, I have no idea what kind of food you like, what you're allergic to. You know, are you trying to be healthy? Do you want to splurge? So many variables when it comes to that. But who do I need support from in 2026? And then this very last one, I'm going to leave you with at the end of the year. What identity am I activating today? Because you can turn it on and you can turn it off. So I challenge you to turn it on. What identity, literally, I'm like, if you're not watching some video, I'm putting it on. What identity are you activating today? Maybe you need to Sasha Fierce that shit. Maybe you need a Beyonce and have an alter ego, right? Rihanna, Riri gets out there. Who is that? What is that identity that you need to embody and activate today so that you can do the things that you are here to do? If you guys want, I can create a downloadable workbook for this. But all 4 of these episodes are meant to coincide with each other. If you haven't listened to the first 3 episodes, please go back, listen to them in order. Let me know your thoughts on them. What are you taking action on? What are your journal prompts looking like? How are you feeling? What are your goals for 2026? How can I help support you? What do you need? Tell me what you need. I got you. I will connect you with the right people. If I'm the mentor you're meant to work with in 2026, I am looking for a couple of high-level women who want high-touch accountability. This includes weekly calls, PR support. If podcasting is your jam, obviously I got you there. But it is a 12-month container to work with me in 2026. Because I truly believe that we cannot embody a new identity in 6 weeks. This is no 6 weeks quick fix. We cannot amass a perfect business in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We have to work through this stuff and we have to build the foundation to it. And then we have to do it consistently. We have to test. We have to track data. We have to go back and see what's working, not just on paper, but in your heart, in your soul, intuitively. What do you need? Who do you need? How much money do you want to be making? Who do you want to serve? What is the impact you're here to create? That takes some time. But in that 12-month container, you will get two brand photo shoots, 2 in-person VIP days here at Creative House, and as much support as you could possibly need throughout the year. This is next level, high touch, one-on-one mentorship. It is the only thing I'm offering this year. And I cannot wait to connect with you. If you've loved these episodes, please let me know. Tag a friend, send them to somebody. If you haven't left a review for the podcast yet, it would mean the absolute world. The reviews go such a long way. Just a simple little thank you, a 5-star review, and a little like, Jess is a bad bitch. I love these episodes. If you want the real, go check her out. And a tag on social media never hurts either. If I can do anything for you and gift you in any way in 2026 or whenever you're listening to this podcast episode, let me know. I got you. Send me a DM. And I am sending you so much love moving into the new year. You got this. Here we go. Hang on. It's going to be a wild ass fun ride. Giving back is easy. Leave Unscripted your 5-star rating and written review. I appreciate your support more than I could ever put into words.